What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. Alright, this story's called 2 Karen Stories for One Family. So over the last week, my husband and I have both had to deal with some obnoxious Karens. My husband's experience happened first over the weekend. My husband works for a contractor's company and was working at a local large hospital for some renovation/upgrades. He was in the cafeteria waiting for 2 other guys so they could get to work and was very clearly wearing his company shirt that in large white letters says the company's name and wearing a badge with his face and company name, and had tools on a tool belt. Husband is dear husband, and Karen is Karen. I wasn't there, so this is how my husband told me it happened, which was backed by his 2 coworkers who came in when it got good.
Excuse me, I want someone to go get me food from Place for Famous Chicken Only.
Sorry, I don't think they have that here. He goes back to playing a game on his phone or something. All he remembers is he went back to his phone.
So aren't you gonna go get it?
No. I'm waiting for my guys to start work. Karen shoves her leg into my husband's face.
I'm a patient here and you have to take care of me. I want food from that place and find someone competent enough to know to put the band on my wrist, not leg.
I don't work for the hospital. The registration desk is down the hall. Maybe they can help. My guys are here, so I'm gonna start work. Have a nice day. She then grabbed his arm in full view of coworkers that had just come up.
I know you work here, now go get me food.
Ma'am, I don't work here. Please let go of me. My husband is careful not to jerk away in case she falls, since it's a hospital. He made sure she was steady and pulled his arm away and started walking towards the elevators.
Get back here and get me, whoever is in charge of you, to have you fired.
I'm in charge of my guys today and we are leaving. It wasn't that exciting and he didn't see her for the rest of the day, but he got hell from his coworkers about it. Now, my experience, which was yesterday. I work in an office building which shares about 20 separate offices with other companies. I have one near the end of the hall on the 2nd floor by a door that's always locked. My coworker's office is down the hall, so my door is normally open for people to come get checks or drop off contracts and checks. Further down the hall is a few other offices occupied, one of which is a place that orders Brovid tests and other lab tests to be sent to an independent lab. Earlier yesterday, I heard the owner of that office on the phone with someone yelling to calm down and be respectful or he wouldn't help her. I ignored most of it because it's not my business. Fast forward to yesterday afternoon and someone opened the door on the opposite end from me and started stomping down the hall. There are clear signs on the door and even arrows to point you to the specific office you need. An elevator has office numbers. Mine is 12 and the other one is 16, for instance. Stomping continues and some lady wearing no mask, coughing up a storm, barrels into my office, slamming the door back into the wall. I had it slightly closed. I will be me, and owner will be owner, and
lady
will be Becky, for, well, you know.
I have never been spoken to so rudely in my life. How dare you speak to me that way earlier?
Keep in mind, the person she spoke to earlier was a guy with a deep voice in his 60s, and I'm in my 20s and obviously pregnant. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm going to need you to step out of my office and put a mask on and speak calmly, or I will not help you.
How dare you? I have respiratory issues and don't have to wear a mask.
That is all fine and good, but in my office, you have to wear a mask for my and my child's protection, or I will not help you. Either put on the mask or leave. I had no idea who she was yet and thought someone was mad at my company. Becky starts to come around my desk to come even closer to me, and I even grabbed hand sanitizer, closest thing. If you come any closer, I will call the police and I will defend myself. Back up and put on a mask. Becky grumbles, but takes a step back until she's in the doorway.
You sent me to a place for Brovid testing that had a bunch of people in the waiting room, and now I'm testing positive because you sent me there. What are you going to do for me? I demand a refund and for you to cut my next test and visits.
Okay, not my company, so I'll tell her. But who the hell comes into an office with no mask after testing positive? positive. I'm in quarantine until I can get a test done. You're in the wrong office. It is down the hall in suite 16. I don't work.
Yes, you do. I talked to you earlier, bitch.
No, you didn't. And I don't work for XYZ Carpenter office. Get out now before I call the police.
I will tell them you caused me to get brovid and have you arrested for endangerment.
At that point, the owner of my company came back and came to hear what the commotion was about. She came up and heard the police bit and decided to step in.
Excuse me, why are you harassing my employee? She yelled at me over the phone and made me get brovid. You're brovid positive and you're not wearing a mask to spread it to my employee and this entire building? You need to leave now or I will be calling the police. You wouldn't dare. OP, go ahead and call. I'll stay right here until they get here.
I started typing the number into my phone and the lady ran down the hall and out the door. Told the other office about it and they had all her information and will take care of it with a report. But seriously, now I'm in quarantine and so is my boss and I'm just hoping I don't have it. Edit. For all the kind people who are wondering about the baby, it is still too early for me to get tested, but had a doctor's appointment at my doctor's insistence after regular hours a little bit ago, and everything is perfectly fine with little man. He was moving and heartbeat was strong and he was measuring perfectly. They monitored his heart for about 30 minutes and nothing out of the ordinary. Thank you all for the kind words and support. Alright, this story's called No, He Can't Help You. First time poster, long time lurker, forgive the text wall, I don't really use Reddit. A little information about me. For context, I'm a 6'4", 280-pound metalhead, and if I may quote the great George Carlin, I don't have pet peeves, I have major psychotic frickin' hatreds. One of those is treating workers like crap. Actors in this play are overwrought worker, manager, me, and Karen. Last Sunday, I headed to Home Depot for some replacement tools. After browsing the drills and circular saws, I've nailed down the stuff I want and politely waved down overwrought worker. He looks like a kicked puppy and has obviously had a bad day. So I shoot the crap with him for a bit before I ask him to get out the tools I want. If you've never bought power tools, they keep them locked up to prevent theft. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot it. A wild Karen. Overwrought worker passes me the saw and we head over to the drills. I've noticed she's lurking a few feet away, arms crossed, foot tapping, staring a hole into this poor guy's head. He gets out the drill set and hands it to me and his eyes meet with Karen's. Thus begins the poo show. Cue the of
I have been waiting for 20 minutes and you have been ignoring me.
Overwrought worker is shocked, and I've gone from chatting about carpentry and telling penis jokes to furious. Continue the cries of
This is unprofessional
and
this is what you call customer service?
all the while overwrought worker is apologizing and desperately trying to explain that he can't leave my side until I check out. See aforementioned theft. After a minute or two, she shouts,
You are done helping him.
She looks me up and down with obvious disgust.
So either you help me or you find another job.
Overwrought worker has gone pale and she has a highly punchable poo-eating grin. My time to shine. Ma'am, why are you being such a cooter? A few moments of a beautiful silence.
What did you call me?
Going completely red. A cooter. Don't like it? Stop acting like one. Cooter, said in a calm, near monotone. I don't do monotone. Sounds bad. She takes a step toward me, voice shaking.
How dare you? Do you
Nope. I do know he can't help you until I check out. Still calm, she takes another step.
Bullshit.
Step off! Find someone else to complain at, I yell. I can see the moment of realization. I've got almost a foot and 150 pounds of anger on her. So she turns on her heel and scurries away, all the while ranting to herself. I stare at her until she turns a corner. I think I have everything. Thanks. What a cooter. We walk straight over to checkout. I'm still giggling like an idiot, and overwrought worker is still trying and failing to not laugh. The cashier is a tiny old Asian lady, looking amused at us.
Is that everything?
Yep, I still giggle giggling. An aisle or two down, who do I see but Karen, dragging an obviously confused man with her. She points at me and shrieks,
That's him! That's the guy who threatened me!
Me to the cashier, I would like the 2-year warranty on these. I say to Karen, stating the obvious isn't a threat. Calm again. This triggers a tirade of my supposed threats and horrible insults, including a violation of a horrible degree, hilariously. It's not funny. Like I was planning to pin her down in the hardware aisle. Was that intentional? The, I assume, manager trying to calm her down while overawed worker is still flailing to hold in his laughs. Finally, she calms down enough for him to talk to me. Sir, I'm sorry about this, but is any of this true? Karen has that frickin' grin back. I calmly explain, while being interrupted by Karen every few words, how overawed worker had been helping me shop while gesturing to the $700 pile of tools. I then start to explain how Karen had berated overawed worker with constant shouts of,
No, I didn't!
and
He's lying!
then I asked why she was being a cooter. And, well, I gesture at Karen having a frickin' breakdown. Manager looks from Karen, then to overawed worker. Overawed worker, is this true? Overawed worker, barely holding his crap together, nods. Meanwhile, I'm paying for my stuff and thanking the cashier. Ma'am, I need you to stop abusing my customers and employees.
He's lying! He threatened me! You need to call the cops!
Have a nice day! I walk away as the volume and pitch of the shrieks get higher, laughing my ass off. By the time I made it to the car, I was shaking with tears running down my face with the lulz. It turns out someone took her advice and called the cops. I had the privilege of watching them escort her from the building while I lost my crap. That was a good day. Look at you, my man, sticking up to the woman. Alright, this story's called Starbucks Workers Don't Get Paid Enough to Deal with You, Karen. This happened yesterday at a Starbucks somewhere in the US. Obligatory, I'm on mobile. Yo, you shouldn't be too specific with the locations. Might harm someone. Ha! I'm a medical professional. I've been dealing with people who think Brovid is a hoax or not serious, etc. Please don't debate that here. The post is not about that. Here's the cast. There's Karen. I've never done that voice before. There's me. Don't know what barista is gonna be. Is it a boy or girl? I walk into Starbucks and distance myself on the little circles they have that are 6 feet away from each other. There are just a few people in the store and it's pretty big, so overall I felt safe. I'm minding my business, browsing Reddit, when this Karen walks in. I didn't notice her until I heard a barista say, pick a voice, excuse me, you need a mask to be inside the store. I turned to witness a look of horror on this woman's face, as if she didn't see the countless signs stating you need a mask, or she didn't realize there was a pandemic.
All I want is a coffee.
I'll be happy to make you one when you put a mask on.
But...
Nope.
What?
Nope. These workers don't get paid enough to make coffee and babysit children. Nope. Out.
Why?
Nope. Out. I felt like I was talking to a misbehaving puppy, and she looked just as sad. So she turned to the only line of defense she had left.
I'll get you fired!
I don't work here.
I'll find your boss!
I am my boss. She short circuits, makes that weird grunting angry sound, and leaves. I can't stand when these anti-maskers involve people who aren't paid to deal with their crap. And even people who are, not paid enough. Edit. You're all kind, and I'm glad that there are more people out there who are willing to stand up for others. Of course, I always stand up for people. Just ask pregnant women on subways that I don't ever get on because I don't live in a subway area. I mean, there is one down the road, but, I don't go there very often. Fast food's not that good for you, even if it is Subway. It's a joke. Anyway, lesson of today, give up your seat for people who might need it, not because it's expected of you, but because it might make someone's life a little bit easier, and you'll feel good about yourself. Plus, if you just, do it and act like it's no big deal and just stand stoically, you're forever a badass in their mind. And they're gonna tell stories about you to their children or grandchildren. I don't discriminate. Alright, this story's called It's My First Time in This Store. So, I was visiting my mom, big mistake fella, I'm kidding, several months ago, and she told me about this cute little store near her house with cute craft supplies and trinkets. Aw, it does sound cute. So, we decided to go shopping. If I remember correctly, I was wearing sweatpants. Nice sweatpants, but still sweatpants, and not something an employee would wear. So, we get there, and there are multiple aisles with different craft supplies, and I love that kind of stuff. My mom starts looking for something for her now husband, and I tell her I'm going to look down this aisle for stickers. I start digging. Oh man, they have so many interesting crafting papers and stickers. I'm excited to look through it. I'm down on one knee as it's on the bottom shelf, and I'm hyper focused on looking at everything. I always really enjoy looking at arts and craft supplies and forget about everything else. Until this random lady snaps me out of it by asking,
Excuse me, how big is this blanket?
She wasn't rude, by the way. She was polite. I didn't quite realize yet that she thought I worked there, but I have worked a lot of retail jobs, and I guess I still felt like being a little helpful. So I decided to look at the blanket she was showing me. It was in a package, so I decided to try to read the package to look for the dimensions. Can't remember exactly what it said, but I do remember not being sure. I tried to answer her questions about it from what I could get from the packaging. Then she asks,
Well, if it's not big enough, will I be able to return it?
I don't know, I say. It's my first time in here. You should ask an employee.
Oh,
She says, looking a little surprised. That's when I realized she thought I worked there. Then she walked away, I guess to find an employee. Me and my mom had a giggle about it in the car. She wasn't rude, she was rather polite, but it was still funny. Well, it was funny and it was cute because I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, cause we're all dudes, hey! I just watched Good Burger.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.